got you and your vibes in my mind. I can't get them out, no matter how hard I try.
Hey, what's up guys, Dr. M3 here. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to a new video about how to prepare your car for winter driving. Tesla Model 3, same color, and I think almost with a white interior too, I think. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Turn notifications on so you don't miss any of these videos when I upload them. Now again, if you're new to the EV world and you just got your new electric vehicle, or if you're contemplating an electric vehicle, one of the things you need to consider are some things to prepare your car for winter. Some of them are unique to an electric vehicle, and some are not unique at all. Some are some of the things that you would normally do for a regular car in preparation for winter. But I'm going to focus this video on EV, electric vehicles, and getting them ready for the winter. So one of the first things you really want to do, and if you think about it, the connection between you and the road, what is that one thing that does that? You got it, your tires. And I can't tell you how neglected a factor that is. Now, I bought my car with Pirelli P0 tires. They came when I picked the car up in December of 2020. And actually I had to wait a whole month because I needed to get the right tires for this car. Now I am running Pirelli Soto Zeros, and I've actually gone down in size. I have the Model Y Performance, so I have a staggered setup on my sports tires, which is 20 in the front, 21 on the rear. But for my winter setup, it's squared all around. So it's 20s front and rear. And as I said, I chose a Pirelli P0. It is so important, the tire that you use, if you're in a winter setting, that they are designed for winter. Now, a buddy of mine from Ignition Tube did a video a few years ago. I'm actually going to post it in the pop-out so you can go and take a look on the importance and performance of winter tires versus even all seasons. All seasons aren't as good, and I would make an argument, if you're going to do it and you live in an area that has a lot of snow, get a dedicated snow tire for your setup. The one other thing that you need to also do and consider is their tire pressure. Now, I typically have nitrogen in my tires, so they're not as subject to expansion with the change in temperature, but most people don't do that. So if you have generally regular air in your tire, when it gets colder, the tire pressure actually goes down. So one of the things you need to do for your tires as well is just ensure that your tire pressure is the appropriate. And you can actually quickly check by doing this, by swiping right on your dash. It'll tell you, and you can see it's 41 PSI all around for my setup. One other item you have to think about with your car in the winter is caring for the battery. Now, in the summertime, the official range of the Model Y Performance is 303 miles. Truth be told, it's less than that, and in the winter time, my experience from having driven this car one season last winter is that you take about a 30% hit in terms of your range. And why that happens, a couple of things. One, I think there's a little bit more spin, and because there's a lot more slip, because the traction is not as good in the wintertime. Makes sense. You actually, there's wasted power there. The other thing that I think a lot of folks don't think about is, batteries are like humans. If you think about it, when we get up in the morning and it's cold, it's kind of sluggish to move around. And so it's the same thing with your battery. When your batteries are cold, they're far less efficient. And so one of the things you may want to do is precondition your battery. And what I mean by that, if you leave at a certain time every day in the morning, set your car to wake up at that time where it preconditions the battery, gets it warmer, and makes it more efficient. The same is true if you're going to leave work. If you leave work at a certain time, you can precondition your battery, especially if you're plugged in. And it's best to do it when you're plugged in because it'll warm the battery up from the power outlet rather than using your battery, so you'll get some additional range. I'm going to show you how to do that and some of the things you may want to do from your display screen.
It's electric, I'm up in my feelings.
So one of the things you're going to notice is that you have a significant hit in your range, and it can be up to 30, even 35%. And I'm going to be doing a trip to New York shortly, so I'm going to kind of show you my experience, my real-world experience on a long trip using supercharging along the way, and I'll show you that in fact the range that you think you're going to get is not quite there. And again, your speed, there are lots of things that affect your range, especially in the winter. So the speed, how hard you accelerate, you may even want to change and go into the chill mode. You may even want to turn down regenerative braking a little bit because it can be a little aggressive when you're on roads that are not so great in terms of traction. But more to come on that video. And the next item is if you park outside and your car is subject to having snow or ice on it, you may want to disable the automatic folding mirrors and the automatic tilt mirrors. How you do that is you go into the car setting here, you're going to go to mirrors, and as you can see I have mirror auto tilt and auto fold on leaving the car. You're going to want to disable those two items for your profile to make sure that you don't overload the motors in case they get frozen during the winter. Very easy thing to happen, and as I said, if you're parking indoors, maybe it's not a big deal, but if you're parking outdoors, there is a risk and you may want to disable that. One of the other things you should do to prepare your car for the winter is something that I haven't done, and that is getting floor mats that are winter floor mats. Now, I've been pretty good. This is the second winter now that I've had this Model Y performance, and I still have my carpets in here, and I'm pretty careful about it. But to be honest, if you live in an area that has heavy winters, if you don't change your mats, they're not going to look that good after probably one season. I lucked out. I'm just pretty particular about how I care for this car. And interestingly enough, if you watch my original video, I actually have these carpets ceramic coated from XPEL using their Fusion product. So that's probably one of the reasons why my carpets are in pretty good shape, but you may want to get rubberized mats for your car for the winter. So that's the next item that you may want to pay attention to just to prepare your car for the winter. One of the other things that you don't think about very much is windshield washer fluid, and actually you really need that, especially in the winter, because if you're not refilled, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't have this. So we're going to grab one of these and go make sure that we're filled up. Alright guys, it's no secret that the winter can be really harsh on your car. So before the winter rolls around, you need to make sure that you have protected the paint. You can either wax it, or in my case I have protective film from XPEL, and I gotta give a shout out to my friends at Blackout Tinting, or ceramic coating. I actually have both PPF and ceramic coating on the car. Protects the car and protects the paint, and that's what I do for the winter, so make sure that you do that. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have an EV, go ahead and make sure that you prepare it well for the winter. Enjoy the ride, and as I always say, keep motoring. We'll catch you in the next.